Hello, and welcome to Spilling the Milk, the podcast where we talk about breastfeeding. You know, the thing that moms have been doing since the beginning of time, and yet is still not really talked about as much as it needs to be. We're here to fix that. In today's episode, I have the pleasure of speaking with Sarah, who I have known since about the 7th or 8th grade, and she was my science lab partner all through high school. And we didn't always know what we were doing, but I feel like we usually figured it out. We made a pretty good team. And all these years later, to be talking with her, she's a mom of 2 boys. I'm a mom of 3 boys. We both are living our lives kind of geographically separated, but to be able to connect about our experiences with being moms and specifically with breastfeeding, it's really cool for me. So I hope you enjoy the conversation. I think you will enjoy, like I do, how Sarah sort of just does what she thinks is best and really paves her own path and figures things out for herself and doesn't really care what other people have to say about things in certain circumstances. Okay, tell me a little bit more about the emotions aside aspect then.
I guess what I didn't realize was when in the early stages of trying to breastfeed Oliver, when it was so difficult physically, I really wasn't paying attention too much to how difficult it was to just be the only person who could feed a baby, to have to be the on-demand parent all the time. And once the physical pain subsided, and then it just became sort of a routine of feeding whenever the baby needed to eat, I started to realize that actually this is very exhausting. This is exhausting. And in addition to, feeding it all the time, I also have to take care of it. And, it was quite a transition from being pregnant with no kids to having a kid that your responsibility is for feeding it all the time. Because we never used a bottle. And I managed to miss that boat on 2 occasions with 2 of my kids. They both only breastfed. And so to me, that was the most difficult part throughout, was just how hard it was to have to just be available all the time when needed.
If you could go back, do you wish that giving a bottle had been an option?
I don't know if I could go, as I think about it in retrospect, no, because I loved the experience of breastfeeding so much. I wouldn't want to change anything about either of my kids. And I'm proud and glad that I was able to structure my own life and work life in order to be available to them when they needed to eat all the time, or just as needed. So in retrospect, I wouldn't do anything different.